Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be my preview on Joe Gacy, Huskus the Pig Boy. So we have Gacy in the game. He's a modern era aggressive showboat. Raw link, any color moves start with 1 more MP. The Y at 6, multiply gems generated from moves will increase their strength by 4. Modern era gems do 5% more damage. And then Huskus the Pig Boy stock gear. He's a trainer. Right now, this one doesn't excite me for people in the game today. It's pretty big damage at 150% row break gems, though. I would, so every, all three of the Wyatt 6 so far have had row break moves and multiply gems. So, I mean, it hasn't been like confirmed, it isn't inside info, but obviously, I mean, like to me, obviously, Nikki is the next one, and then Uncle Howdy's the last one, and I would assume them to continue to have row break gems, so I anticipate this to be clutch on one of them. My guess is going to be extremely clutch on Uncle Howdy. That's just a guess, but we'll see. Um, okay. Housekeeping. I'm not going to use two moves. They're not bad moves. They're just incredibly situational. Scoop Slam, 1 MP black move, deal 926k damage and steal up to 3 MP from each of your opponent's black moves. Running Senton, 4 MP, deal 926k damage and reduce owner's tag counter by 3 turns. Situationally, like say in Showdown, where you start with 1 MP, if you went against somebody that had black MP loaded, like a 99 MP person, you hit this because it would fill that, and then you would tag your person in. However, if you use these two moves, you have no offense with Gacy. They don't flow with anything else, and you're gonna just be dead in the water if you don't tag in. So these are only useful to get Gacy out of a match, so you're not using him. So if he's ever a requirement and you don't have him leveled and you don't want to use him, then you might use these two moves to get him out in a hurry. Other than that, they're not much there, right? These feel a little bit throwaway-esque to me. I like what they're trying to do in principle. MP steals are neat, low charge ones are neat, but it doesn't feed anything else. So to me, I mean, it does technically feed this, but it's just literally to get him out of a match and not use him. So I don't particularly love that. But I like what they're trying to do, if that makes sense. We're going to start with by far my least favorite moveset. I do not like, of the three that I'm going to show you. Oh, also, I will 100% do a budget build on Gacy, probably later this week or early next week is when you can expect the budget build for him if you're looking for that. Corner whip clothesline, 7 MP red, 568 damage, choose 7 gems to make into yellow. Overhead belly to belly suplex, 7 MP red, deal 714k damage and make 35 random gems into row breaks. Diving clothesline finisher, 10 MP yellow, deal 938k damage, make 9 random gems into multiply gems of strength 10. Then finisher, deal 938k damage and choose a 2x7 area to swap into red gems and pin the opponent. This move is actually pretty good. I really like the finisher. We're going to see that make a big difference on him later. He ended up also, the early spoiler, being much better than I anticipated as you add stuff to him. So there is that. We are going to start without adding anything though. And this build set, it's a little bit rough on this one. Just know that ahead of time. He's got a lot better stuff coming. This is just to show you the row break move. I do have a 50% strap, Fury 2s, and a takedown Fury 2 percentage medal on. Again, if this is too much for you, I will be doing a budget build video for him, no question, later this week, early next week. All right. Entourage. We got Davy Boy Smith, and we got Butch, so that's 4 and 2 MP for 6. Davy Boy also gives us 45% red gems. And then we're going to try a little bit to take advantage of the row breaks, and so I have Mercy on for row breaks do 125% more damage. Honestly, you'd be better off running a multiply trainer here, I think, but I just want to show you that the 125% to 35 row breaks doesn't equate to a lot of gem damage. That's why I'm showing this build in general. And then we have NWO Hogan here, so that we can load the finisher with 2-3 matches. If you don't have him, you could use Rikishi and do other stuff. You could also potentially do like a 7 match and then a swipe to load the finisher, because you start with 1. A 7 match with Rikishi would be 8 MP, you'd be at 9, then you would swipe and it would be full at 10. So you could also do that to load the finisher. But anyway, anytime you have to do a 5 match and a 3 swipe, you're going to cascade a lot. So I try to avoid showing that. That's something you can do, and you can get extra damage out of it at times, but it is very, very dangerous with no room for error or unluckiness, and I am unlucky often. So your gameplay loop would be 2-3 matches. Very simple. Chuck your thingamajigs here. All right, we're cooking. And now they're going to get filled in with multiply gems. And obviously, we want to not leave a loot box multiply gem. So we're going to go here, and these 2 rows, theoretically, these 2, yeah, blows up the rest of the board too. So we'll catch all of our multiply gems. But you can see we did 13 million damage at silver. That would be 26 million at gold. That's not going to get it done, right? For sure. And that's why this is my least favorite moveset. And then Sammy's loaded now, and I don't think we're going to finish him. You could put a sheriff's badge plate and get this to about, oh, I think I was doing with the sheriff's badge on this build about 17 million, approximately. That gets everything. Oh, but there's this. Can I get everything here too? Here, here, here. No, I can't. And there's yeah, we're gonna have to do this. 13 million again. Hopefully he doesn't kick out. Okay, excellent. Because I don't want to play that one again. Okay. This is much better. Much, much better. And if you don't have Bailey, substitute Gunther. In that spot, and if you don't have Strowman, you substitute Showboat Cena while I'm thinking of it. Now, this is triple yellow, so he has a solid sub. You could also buff the sub if you so wanted to, but this can hit pretty solid, actually, especially as you add some things, and I will add those things. Belly to back suplex, 7 MP damage, increase your yellow MP by 5. Seated rear chin lock, 7 MP submission, generate 39 random sub gems, do 649k damage 3 turns, remaining turn into row breaks, and then still the finisher. So basically with this, we start loaded the 2 7 MPs. This move is going to load the finisher for after the sub. That's how that works. It could load the finisher ahead of time, but you wouldn't want to do it. Right? There would be no reason to do that. So again, if you don't have Bailey, you would substitute what's his face that I just said? Gunther, Zombie Gunther. And if you don't have Strowman, just sub in Showboat Cena is who I would sub in. You could also sub into Tonka for 2 yellow MP, 100% more sub damage. That would give you 1.8 million more damage during the sub for that. So let's do this. This one's actually not too bad. It's a pretty solid sub build, especially if you add a sub plate, which everyone should have. Dog Ear Gremlin, if I'm not mistaken, they gave that one away during the Waller thing. It was either that or Ronda's Jacket. I get them mixed up. So you would add that, the Dog Ear Gremlin plate for the red gem damage, and then all of these multiply gems would be 100% bigger that we catch, the red ones. And here you can see we kind of clustered them up. The hard thing though is if you want to blow the whole board up, there will be times when you cannot do with this, but we're going to get most of the multiply gems. And you can see we did 14 million. That gets better with nicer things though. Significantly better. The plate, and then in particular adding a sheriff's badge to this is really, really good, because then you pick up the extras, and you could potentially use Ronda's Jacket then or the Bulldog plate. We're going to go there. And 18 million there. So that'd be 36 million at gold. So you can see that's actually really solid sub build for him. To be honest, you should get a bunch of 2-cycle wins with very little extra added, like as far as plates and stuff. I will come back to that one. I want to run this build set without plates, and then we'll go to this one and add the sheriff's one plate at a time to that. Let's do this build set, and then I'll come back to the one I just did and start adding some plates to those two builds. So this one, we're going back to the choose, and there's one move you guys haven't seen, and that's the Uranage 7 MP red, deal 900k damage and modify a 1/6 random area into Leech gems of strength 1.8 million damage. So 6 times 1.8 million is like what? Almost 12 million? It's like 11 million extra damage for those Leech gems. That's nice. Very nice. I believe at 6-star gold, this goes to 1/7. And so you're getting like 14 million. I could be wrong. It could stay 1/6, but they're almost, I know they're almost 2 million. They're like 1.9 something. So don't quote me on that at gold. I can't remember for certain. I am not for positive. Bailey, if you have Bailey, obviously, because it's red gems. If not, you would sub Chelsea, Gunther. It doesn't matter. Butch gives us 4 red MP. Bulldog gives us 6. Our turn gives us 7. Loaded in feud. NWO Hogan here. Let's 2-3 matches. Load it just like before. So that's your ideal set. And then let's go run this. Again, this one is also much better with the sheriff's badge. So you'll have to kind of bear with me on that. Your gameplay loop, though, same as the other one, 2-3 matches. Let's do one here and then one here. Okay. Those are going to randomly go out. Now we have to hope our multiply gems are next to this and next to each other. Without the sheriff's badge, honestly, this build set is pretty rough, right? Because where can I catch the most stuff? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, but 2 leech gems at 1.8 million, right? So we're just gonna get what we get. So this moveset really isn't good without plates. That's why I wanted to show it. It's actually worse than the first one without plates, for sure. Well, maybe not, because this one should hit harder now that there's more stuff to work with on the board. But let's see what it ends up looking like. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 leech gems for 8. I think that's going to be the money spot. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 multiply gems or 2 leech gems. I'm going to go with the leech. We're going to do it here. 15.8 million. Okay. Now we're going to go back to this, and I will do it without a sheriff's badge first and just do the dog-ear gremlin plate. Once you have the sheriff's badge, you could also do it with Rhonda's jacket, right? But so back to the sub build, and we will put a dog-ear gremlin plate on for you guys. You can see what that adds to it. It's actually and of course you could also even better use Brett's the Bite Man's battle armor, and it would add even more. So I'm aware of that. I'm trying to keep this a little bit more in line with what the majority of the community will have. That's why I'm doing this. I'm aware, though, someone will inevitably say in the comments, why didn't you use Brett's Bite Man? It's better. Yeah, yes, I know. I know it's better. In fact, it's 100% better. And I didn't change the moves. So let's go back out. In typical Mherex fashion, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. That's okay. I can fix that. can fix it. Numb Tongue. I can fix that. Bonus points if you know what that's from. Yippity dippity doo. Bippity bop. I did change the trainers, right? It would be like me to go back in and mess it up twice in a row. Ba-ba-bum. Actually, I honestly thought I was going to hate Joe Gacy after looking at him on paper. I don't mind him. He's actually pretty fun to play for me, weirdly enough. And I don't hate this sub build, also, weirdly enough. I think he's designed pretty well, all things considered. Boop, 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 boop. 17 million, 34 million at gold. That's not shabby. That's a 2-cycle win for sure. And we should come out of this with more multiplies on the board, a bigger buff. Should being the operative word, which I should never say. Fill them in right in there. Yeah, that's gonna be nice, I think. Yeah, it is. 23 million gem damage on the second run for 46, right? That was a 2-cycle win against the gold. You'll 2-cycle win at gold, no problem with that. That's without the sheriff's badge. So, I mean, like, that's really nice for just the dog-ear gremlin plate, to be honest. I think that's really nice. Let's see. Let's chuck sheriff's badge on, because I already showed you the build before. The last build, that's my favorite, I think. Absolutely needs a sheriff's badge to get it done. So, I think we're safe to put that on here now. And then this you could potentially throw Rhonda's jacket, because some of the multiplies, and he's a showboat. So you could also do Rhonda's jacket, hope that all of the multiply gems don't get broken. You could actually place your red gems around that. So there's 2 different ways you can play this at this point. I'm not going to show that one, but like I'll try and explain it right here. What I mean, how I would play this particular match if I had Rhonda's jacket on instead. Because yellow is his primary color. He's a showboat. Rhonda's jacket buffs it. So, if all of the multiply gems go at the top, which they didn't, you'd want to try and keep the yellow gems. And like, there's not really a super in this case. I'd probably drop it like right here. You'd keep this yellow multiply. You'd keep these. Yeah, you'd probably keep these multiplies. So you'd keep like 3 of them, and then the sheriff's badge would potentially hit them. Maybe more. Actually, so yeah, I would totally play it different were I using the sheriff's badge. Otherwise, this way looks really good here to me. I'm sorry, were I using Rhonda's jacket? I am using the sheriff's badge. And you can see that's 21 million. That would be a 42 million hit at gold. Not bad for free Mr. Huskus the Pig Boy, in my opinion. That's not bad at all. On a very smooth, easy to run sub build. I really like the combo moves, man. In general, they're a really fun type of move, and I'm glad Scopely is using them often now. I really, really like combo moves. It's cool. I probably could have broke that better, but we have the sheriff's badge bailing us out. All good. It was 19.8 million gem damage, would have been 40 at gold. So yeah, that's pretty solid, right? Back to this move set, we're gonna add one more plate besides the sheriff's badge. I'll run it without that plate first, and then we're gonna put Rosie plate on there, just to get a little bit of extra damage. But I'll run it without first. Dog Ear Gremlin won't do anything now for this move set. Choose 7. And finisher still in, yes. Loadout's going back to what it was, which was this. Yes. Keep your red gems on the board if you can. Now we want to keep our yellow gems on the board if we can, right? So I'm just going to take these because all of these yellow gems are over here. And I like our odds of 30 yellow gems filling in plus what we get here. That's the logic behind this play. We still missed 2, but that was 26 million, guys. That would have been 50, and missing 2 still. That would have been 52 million at gold. Turn 1. That's not bad. We don't have a Sherry on here. We don't have a Leo on here. You could just as easily, you wouldn't lose that much changing from Bailey to what's her Chelsea or Zombie Gunther, right? So that's really solid. And now let's add the Rosy plate for a little more yellow gem damage. Because we're making those leeches. Whenever you make 6 or more leech gems, which we are, increase your purple and yellow gem damage by 75% for 1 turn. It's going to make any of those yellow gems obviously bigger, but in particular the yellow multiply gems. Oh, and I was a little bit off on extrapolating the damage because I forgot we're doing like 12 million in leech damage. Not 12. Yeah, 12 million in leech damage, so it would have been a little bit lower than I said last time because that doesn't double. Just the gem damage does, not this. So it would have been a little bit lower than I said last time. I don't even remember what I said, but I did say it. 2, 3, 2, 3. And actually, because we want yellow gems, you could fill this in with remaining, because yellow gems are our friend in this case. We want a board full of them if possible. So yeah, we're going to go right here again and keep these yellow gems in play over here and make sure we get all of the leech gems. And this should hopefully be a decent smacker. Drop some yellows. Let's do this. Come on. There we go. All the multiply gems, 30 million. He's going to be able to do 50 million for you at gold with this setup, I think, on the regular. Pretty quickly. So that's not too bad. Honestly, for the free poster, I think he's really good. He's got some stuff he can do. Shockingly, I thought I was going to hate him. I put him off playing him because we were so busy. There's the Rocky stuff, all the other previews. I'm like, I'm doing him last. He looks terrible to me on paper. Just don't think I'm gonna like him. I actually had fun with him. He's not the best showboat. You know what I mean? Zombie Brett, is he better? Yes. Zombie Brett was the A tier last month. A little bit harder to get than the free. But is he, especially during 99 MP, you can do all kinds of stuff with him. There's no cascade risk. You can throw Sherry on there if you have Sherry. Honestly, he'll probably 2-click for a lot with the build I just showed you, and then 99 MP if you have him. So for 2 months, So I think he's pretty solid. You got the fallback to this build too, which is really good. I'm not going to compare him to the top tier because he's not there, but I do think he's an extremely solid freebie, very usable, and brings some utility for a decent amount of rosters. I'll definitely do a budget build on him because I enjoyed this preview, and I think budget wise he'll have stuff to add to your roster, and I can add more thoughts there. So like I said, end of this week, which it almost is already, probably early next week for the budget build, but maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Yeah, surprisingly, I actually really enjoyed this playing him. testing him in the preview. I honestly thought I wasn't going to have very much fun with it, but I did enjoy it.